The year is 1917. The month, January. A biting, relentless cold has seized Petrograd, the heart of the vast and troubled Russian Empire. Snow, thick and unforgiving, blankets the ornate streets, muffling the sounds of a city on the brink. This isn't just winter's chill, it's the frozen breath of an empire in its final, agonizing moments. For 3 long years, the Great War has bled the nation white. Millions of sons, fathers, and husbands have vanished into the meat grinder of the Eastern Front, their letters home growing fewer and farther between. Those who remain are ghosts. Haunted by what they've seen, their bodies broken, their spirits shattered, back in the cities. The queues for bread stretch for blocks. Silent processions of shivering women and gaunt-faced children. The bakeries are often empty. The factories, churning out weapons for a war that has lost all meaning, are cauldrons of discontent. Prices for basic necessities have skyrocketed, while wages remain pitifully low. The promise of forgotten Tsar and fatherland now rings hollow, a cruel joke whispered in the bitter wind. The disconnect between the glittering halls of the Winter Palace and the grim reality of the slums has become an unbridgeable chasm. The people are hungry, they are cold, and they are angry. An invisible pressure is building, the deep, tectonic rumble beneath the surface of society. The snow keeps falling, but it cannot cover the cracks that are starting to appear everywhere. Meanwhile, far from the front lines, in the gilded halls of power, the Romanov dynasty is consumed by its own internal decay. Tsar Nicholas II, an autocrat by birth but not by nature, is isolated from his people, shielded by a circle of out-of-touch aristocrats and the mystical influence of Grigory Rasputin. His decisions seem erratic, his grip on power increasingly fragile. He is the captain of a ship sailing directly into a hurricane, yet he seems oblivious to the storm warnings. The Duma, Russia's fledgling parliament, is powerless, its pleas for reform and responsible government ignored. The whispers of incompetence and even treason in the highest circles of power are no longer confined to the drawing rooms of the elite. They are shouted in the breadlines and muttered in the barracks. Every day, the legitimacy of the 300-year-old dynasty erodes a little more. The foundations of the old world are crumbling, stone by stone, across the border, in neutral Switzerland. A man with a piercing gaze and a formidable intellect has been watching, waiting, and writing, Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, better known as Lenin. For years, he has been the architect of revolution in exile, his words smuggled across borders, his ideas a potent virus infecting the minds of a generation of radicals. He is a theorist of immense power, but he is also a pragmatist. He understands that ideas alone do not make a revolution. It requires an opportunity, a moment of profound weakness in the old order. And he sees that moment fast approaching. The war, which he denounces as an imperialist slaughter, is the very catalyst he has been waiting for. It has accelerated the contradictions of capitalism and autocracy, pushing the Russian Empire to its breaking point. Lenin and his small but disciplined faction, the Bolsheviks, are poised to turn theory into earth-shattering practice. Back in Petrograd, the tension is palpable. It hangs in the air with the coal smoke from the factories. In the Putilov Steel Works, the largest factory in the city, the murmurs of discontent are growing into a roar. Workers, pushed to the edge by food shortages and brutal working conditions, are beginning to organize. They are no longer just asking for bread, they are demanding dignity, respect, and an end to the senseless war. Secret meetings are held in dimly lit rooms. Leaflets printed on cheap paper are passed from hand to hand, their revolutionary messages a stark contrast to the official propaganda of the state. These aren't just isolated incidents. They are tremors, signaling a coming earthquake. The government responds with its usual tools, police surveillance, arrests, and the threat of force. But this time, it feels different. The fear that once kept the masses in check is being replaced by a desperate, defiant courage. The workers feel they have nothing left to lose. As January draws to a close, a new rumor begins to spread through the revolutionary underground, a jolt of electricity through the frozen city. Lenin is coming. The details are shrouded in secrecy. A clandestine journey across a war-torn continent. The story of the sealed train is about to become legend. The German High Command, in a calculated act of geopolitical cynicism, agrees to grant Lenin and his fellow exiles safe passage across Germany. Their logic is simple. Unleashing Lenin on Russia is like throwing a vial of typhus into their enemy's water supply. They hope he will sow chaos, destabilize the Russian war effort from within, and force Russia to sue for peace. They see Lenin as a tool, a pawn in their great game. They have no idea they are about to set in motion a chain of events that will not only topple a czar but will also redraw the map of the world and define the course of the 20th century. Imagine the scene at the Finland station. The air is thick with anticipation. A crowd of workers, soldiers, and Bolshevik sympathizers has gathered on the platform, their faces illuminated by the dim station lights. They are waiting for a man most have never seen, a figure who has become almost mythical. When the train finally hisses to a stop and Lenin emerges, he is not the towering figure of propaganda. He is short, bald, but his eyes burn with an intensity that electrifies the crowd. He wastes no time on pleasantries. Climbing atop an armored car, he delivers a speech that is like a thunderclap, shattering the cautious expectations of many. He calls not just for an end to the war, but for a socialist revolution. He proclaims all power to the Soviets, the councils of workers and soldiers. He dismisses the provisional government that would soon take power as a bourgeois compromise. This is not a call for reform, it is a declaration of war on the old world. The arrival of Lenin is the spark that ignites the dry tinder of Russian society. His message, radical and uncompromising, resonates with the deepest desires of the exhausted, angry masses. He offers them a simple, powerful narrative: the war is not their war, the government is not their government, and the land should belong to those who work it. He articulates what millions are feeling but have not dared to say aloud. In the coming months, the Bolsheviks, once a marginal faction, will see their popularity soar. Lenin's genius lies in his ability to read the mood of the street, to channel the raw energy of popular discontent into a disciplined political force. And subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. We'll see you next time.